Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A, and today I'm going to do a little bit of a tutorial and show people who may be not familiar with makeup how to put it on. I'm almost 59 years old and I have a lot of I have wrinkles, I have age spots, I have a lot of sinking, a lot of creasing, a lot of diamond patterns in my eyes, crepiness, you name it, I got it. You know, age happens, it just happens. So I want to be the healthiest, most radiant version of myself that I can put out there. And as you age, a lot of your skin problems come out, you fade. And from all those fun times we had getting suntans back in the 1960s and 70s, we're now suffering with skin issues. So if you have rosacea, if you have any other skin problems, these all seem to come out in force as you hit 45, 50, 55. And then each year after you start seeing more and more things, you know. So I just deal with it, you know, you just deal with it and make the best of it. And I think I look healthy without being too overdone. And I'll teach you what I do to make myself look like this from, well, let's show you what I look like before. And we'll take you on a journey through start to finish makeup. And here we go. Okay, here I am straight out of the shower, and yep, this is what it looks like. This is the flat me straight out of the shower. Now I have exfoliated my lips, exfoliated my face, put a serum on, put a moisturizer on, and let that settle before I come to the table. I've made sure that there's no facial hairs, that my eyebrows are clear around here, there's no stray hairs, and that I have a nice moisturizer on. You really need to have a moisturizer on before you put your makeup on so that you get a good start, because especially in winter time your skin can be very dry. So one thing I like to do is put a primer on, and this is just a foundation primer, and all it does is it fills in all the nooks and crannies in your face. It also will make the foundation adhere to your skin a little better so that it stays longer. So this one is called Prime and Fine from CATRICE. I think it's around $5 or $6. It's a beautifying primer, which means it does give a little illumination. And what it is as we get older, sometimes our skin can look a little sallow. So I like to put this on. I'm just gonna put a blob just like that. And you don't need much at all. And I'm just gonna put it on with my fingers. And I like to tap around here. Sometimes if you have bags in the morning, if you tap around here, you can help them drain. You do know that that's fluid that's built up overnight as we sleep, and it does drain eventually. That's why you look all puffy first thing in the morning, and eventually it goes down, which is nice. And I take anything down the neck. I always take it down the neck and out to the regions right around my ears. Okay, so it's a little bit glowy, a little bit shiny. We're also going to put on an eyelid primer. Now as you blink all the time, you're going to be constantly pushing eyeshadow up into your lid. Your eyes sink back as you get older. They sink back into the sockets more, and it goes a little dark in the center, and your eyes become a little more hooded, as they call it, and that just means that this much more prominent overhang here, and your eyes sinking in make them appear smaller. So this doesn't happen with young people so much, so this is something that is kind of an old person thing. I have two here that I like. You can also use something like MILANI from the drugstore. They have a nice eye primer. Wet n Wild has a nice I think it's called Photo Focus Eye Primer or something. This is CATRICE Prime and Fine, and then this is KIKO. KIKO is something you can find worldwide, so I will use that. This is an eye base. There's a slight tint to this. You gotta be careful with tinted eye bases, because if you've got a lot of crepiness here in your eyes, anything that's too shiny or silky will accentuate those crinkles, and anything that's colored sometimes can look like little cracks of the desert. So I like to use, this is safe. This is KIKO. There's just enough emollients in there to make it flow nicely. There's a slight tint, and I'll just do that. Now for foundations, if you have any skin type, this is a perfect all-around foundation. This is from CATRICE, and it is called All Matte Plus Shine Control Makeup. And yes, I have dry skin, but this works really well. It stays on well, there's good coverage, and it's very age-friendly. And by age-friendly, I mean like wrinkles, age spots, creases. So I've just got these 3 pumps here. And I know you've seen people use these spongy things. And what you do is you put this under water until it's totally saturated and squeeze out all the excess. And then you can take it and I just make dots all over my face. That's really so I don't leave anything out. And then I just pounce it. Now I don't do my eyes with my foundation. I go around the edge. And I'm pouncing, I'm not swiping. And this gives kind of an airbrush effect. And you want to take any makeup down your neck and any exposed. If you have a huge V showing or anything like that, you want to make sure it's exposed. If your ears stick out really white and you've got slightly darker shade on, you really don't want to have a dark shade. You want to kind of match your skin tone exactly what it is, because you use powders later on to make contours and things like that. I know when we were young we used to just slap on like some CoverGirl all over our face just to cover up the acne, and then we were good to go. We thought. We weren't. Alright, now another one is LA Girl Pro. I think this is a really nice, this is the BB cream, and this works really well as a foundation. Just going to show you that. And this comes in a slew of colors. I'm just going to put a little on here over the top, you can see. Now you can apply makeup with your fingers. Some people find that it looks streaky sometimes, or you can see the finger swirls on your face, or it raises up the little hairs on your face. Funny, so. Now BB creams have the added benefits of skin conditioners and SPF usually in them. There's usually between 15 and 30 SPF in these particular types of products, and they're really good for you. They were originally developed for people who had skin care operations, and while they were healing from the skin operations, the doctors, dermatologists used to give them these BB and CC creams to help their skin look nicer while they were healing. And BB creams have since been Americanized and turned into an alternate light moisturizing foundation. Now this is a concealer, and a concealer and color corrector is really helpful if you have particular darkness in this area. Color correctors are light colors like light green or light purple or light pink, and those are brightening and color correcting. So if you have a lot of rosacea on your chin, you can use a little bit of green there and then put your makeup on. Now this is a concealer that I want to put just underneath my eyes, and the reason I do it after my foundation is you don't want to put too many layers, especially under your eyes. And this is the HD Pro Concealer. And I'm just going to put it on my hand here. And I'm just going to use a brush to put it on. You can use your fingers too. You don't want to pull your skin ever. You don't want to pull your skin. And I go in kind of a triangle like this. It's just a shade maybe a half shade lighter than my shade, and I just shear it out really well in that little triangle. And then if I have any blemishes or age spots around, and I do have one right here, and around your nose, you can tend to be red, especially if you're blowing your nose all the time. This is a wonderful concealer, and it rivals even the really expensive stuff you find in Sephora and Nordstrom's and Macy's. It works perfectly fine. Now I go around the edge of my lips with a concealer. It seems like an odd thing to do, but from drinking from straws or from smoking cigarettes all our lives, we have pursed our lips, and we have created these tiny little lines that show up when you're, say, 45 or so, and they get worse each year. And as you know, I'm 58, I'm going to be 59 very soon, and I just noticed each year in my 50s after 55, new stuff was going on my face. It's like, oh man, you know, I got to deal with this now, got to deal with that. But thank goodness, you know, I think it was in the 1980s I stopped sitting out in the sun to get tans, and I think that really helped save me a lot. This is a Wonderstick from NYX, and one side is a contour shade, one side is a highlight shade. And what you can do with this is you add a little bit of dimension to your face. Now from the contour side, what I do is I make a little triangle like this and a little triangle like that, just underneath my cheekbone. Now you can use a brush to smooth that out. And you're going just underneath your cheekbone. You don't want to go too far forward or you'll look like, you know, an Elvis impersonator. And just a subtle little triangle. It's just a shadow, basically. I'm going to do the same thing here underneath. Don't want to go too far forward. At least 3 to 4 fingers away from your nose and mouth area. I don't like to go too far with that. And then what you can do is just go underneath here and underneath here. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of putting a silhouette on my jawline to make it look a little slimmer, because I love cookies and cakes and ice cream. And as you get older too, you get this jolly thing going on here. I call them St. Bernard jowls, probably shouldn't, huh? And then you just go right up in here. Looks like accentuated eyebrows. And then just smooth it out with a brush. So that's the dark contour side. Some people also use these fancy kind of kits that have these dark shadows in them. And then depending on your skin color, you can use a slightly darker shade. You want to stay away from anything that's too warm toned. You want to actually go with something that's more neutral toned, because warm tone just makes it look like somebody slapped you upside the face. You don't want to go too warm. Now these light areas go right up here. They call it highlighting. And what you can do is kind of just add a little bit like this. You can see there's a little bit of highlight there, right up here between the 11s, here right over the Cupid's bow. You can go down the center of your nose with it as well. You're bringing brightness to the center of your face. You don't want to get anywhere near your eye wrinkles with this. You just go on the top of your cheek here. You can also do that with this, just the top of the cheek, blend it in. This is a very convenient little stick, and it's called a Wonderstick, and I think it is. See how I'm going right here with the, right between the 11s as they call them? Just blending that in a little bit. Just gives me a little bit of brightness and definition. Now I want to use a blush. I want to bring a little bit of color to my cheeks. This is a really nice brand called Essence. It's a very inexpensive brand, and it's available around the world. This is called Babydoll. And I'm just going to take a little of this and just tap my cheek right here, tap my cheek right there, and then I'll just kind of blend it out, buff it out to the back. And I just build it slowly. You don't want a really strong color cheek, or you're going to get that clownish look. Maybe a little up here, and maybe a little down here. If you have a décolleté area, you can put it right in there. I also put some just on the edges of my eyelids to look like a little sun kiss there. And you just put a little bit. Make sure you've got a really nice mirror, or you're sitting by a window where there's a lot of light, so that you can see what you will look like in natural light. The car test is like very telling. You can like look in your car mirror and go, oh my God, how could I do this? So having a nice mirror, I have this, it's kind of a, on one side it's very, very detailed, 7 by, and the other side it's just a regular mirror. And it's lit up. It's a touch light, so you can make it go lighter or darker in 3 different areas. It's very, very nice. It's got a nice, large oval viewing area, which is nice. And it looks pretty on the vanity. But I think having a lighted mirror that's at least 7 by on one side, because you don't see that. If you wear readers right now especially, you don't see, especially when you're doing lines, or, you're tapping something into a blemish, you can't see it very well. But I tell you. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of powder to set this, and this is something called RCMA powder, and this whole big spice container looks like it's a spice from the Dollar Tree, but it's actually, this is a light face setting powder, and what that does is it actually helps you to set your makeup really well. It'll last all day, and it takes some of the excess shine off, which is nice. I'm just going to, you can use a cotton pad, especially under your eyes. It's nice to use that, a little bit of setting powder. And in what they call the T-zone, which is right here and straight down your nose. This is the T-zone. Right here to here, down the nose, to the sides of the nose, straight down. You don't need a whole lot, and it kind of makes a soft look for your whole face, like you haven't just painted it with several different colors. Now, some people like the addition of bronzing powder, and I don't find it that necessary. And this is the Physicians Formula one. It's kind of nice. You can kind of give yourself a natural light glow. And go down the neck. With any of your makeup products, go down the neck. It's just a very light, healthy glow. So if you're very, very sallow, you may like something like this. This is just a light shade, I believe, in the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. Now, I meant to say, when I was talking about powder, if you want a pressed powder, this is a very nice one. This is the NYX, NYX, some people call it, but it's NYX. This is a pressed powder, and it's very soft. It's not a very flat powder. It's not going to make you look like you've got a matted, cakey face. It's a very, almost a satiny finish. It's just a pretty face look that you get from this after you've used it. Make sure you look at everything. Look in your mirror on your 7 by side to make sure everything's in. You just pat it with your fingertip to make sure it's patted into the lines. Sometimes makeup will sink into the little lines, little fine lines. Just pat it up and you'll be all set. Okay, our face is done. Let's do our eyes. And now we're going to do lips. Now, as we get older, we have those little lines around our lips, and we want to protect that area from having lipstick smear off and bleed, because as you eat and do things, the lipstick pushes its way outside of your lip line. And so you want to use a lip liner. And these are several options. This is MILANI. They have, I believe this one is called Nude. You want to get a lip liner that matches close as possible to the inside of your lip. And this one does. Now, a lip liner can fix a multitude of problems with your lips if they're too thin. If one side's really bigger than the other, you can kind of compensate using that. It's a good idea to coat your whole lip with a lip liner. The secret to a good lip liner is that it goes on strong so that it stays and holds. You don't want something that's too creamy and mushy that feels like lipstick itself, because it's going to do the same thing. It's going to feather out into those lines. So you want something that's a little bit harder. You don't want a lip liner that's creamy. And I hear people talk about that all the time. Oh, it's so creamy. And it's like, well, it shouldn't be. Now, if I have a real funky, weird lip shade, which doesn't happen a lot, this is what they call an invisible liner. You can actually use this along the outside of your lips to get that added protection. So it fills in those lines so the lipstick won't go into those lines. So I like to use the invisible lip liner for that purpose, and that is a KIKO product. So this is the Balm Stain in Caffeine Fix. This is one of my favorite lipsticks, and it's from Wet n Wild. And I'm just going to show you what this looks like. This is a beautiful everyday lipstick. It makes my lips look healthy, not overdone, and there's color to them. You know, it's just a really nice kind of a nude color, but it's modern and fresh and still gives me the color I need. It's not shiny, it's not glittery. I can wear this to work without a problem. So this is the Balm Stain in Caffeine Fix. This lasts all day long, and as it wears down with drinking coffee and all that stuff, it stays on there as a little bit of a color, and that's really nice. Now, KIKO has what they call a gloss pencil, and it's a thick pencil that has an actual color to it. So putting that over the top of the Balm Stain, it looks really nice. And this will last all day as well. It's really pretty. I think these are only about $5. These are the gloss sticks from KIKO. I'm wearing red today, so why not? Don't be afraid to wear bright color lipsticks. I wouldn't recommend going too dark, but I do think bright lipsticks look very pretty, even on older faces. This is called Cherry Frost from Wet n Wild. Now I'm going to blot my lipstick. And you can see that's really brightened up my face. Now if you want to have a little bit of shine on your lipstick, and you can maybe, if this is too bright or red for you, you can use NYX. This is the Mega Shine Lip Gloss. This right over the top. So the light catches it and it makes it look really nice. And also now for the nails. If you have really gnarly nails, you don't like to wear colors on your hands, this is something that I found. I think it's in Walmart of all places. This is called the Nail Concealer. And what it is it's just a kind of a flesh colored nail polish. It goes on shiny and dries down, and it looks like your natural nails, only really healthy. It covers over discolorations. It fills in all those ridges and things. It's a really nice product, and this is put out by Pro FX, I believe. But you can find this in Walmart in the nail polish section. I have two favorite brands for nail polish. One is KIKO, which, you know, for just a couple of dollars you can find beautiful nail polishes. And what I have on my nails right now is from Essence. This is the gel nail polish from Essence. These are $2.99. Really, really nice quality for an inexpensive nail polish. So I'm going to take my hair down and we will be right back with you. Time for a little perfume, and this is the Fake Stuff from Beauty Boutique out of Ohio. I'm just going to spray a little on the pulse points. This is Shalimar. This is a version of Shalimar. Really, really nice. So, okay. The last thing is probably, I know there's lipstick on my teeth. You stop that from, you have to do it. It's like what they call the BJ method. If you do that, that takes away any of the lipstick that would normally go onto your teeth. So, anyway. So what do you think? I think it's very, very inexpensive to get a really pretty face with all of the fixins, you know, right up to the lashes. This is what it looks like when it's all pulled together, so you'd never know from the start that we would wind up here. But it's very easy to do and not expensive. I mean, we talk about expensive products all the time here on YouTube, but it's not always necessary. Products that I use, I link them below if you're looking for them. It'll help you find them to order for yourself. I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. I'm not paid to do any of this. I pick the products myself and I paid for them myself. To some people that's important to know, and I think when you're spending your own money on something, you can critique it more honestly because it's your cash money, you know. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial on how to get from shower to polished, and I hope it's been helpful for you. Practice will make perfect, and you know, I hope that maybe I've helped some of you out there. Please let me know in the comments if there's anything that you'd like me to show in another video coming up. I'd like to do videos at least once a week. I am going to try to answer all the comments that I get, at time permitting. Sometimes it's really busy, but I do appreciate the comments and I do appreciate you for watching. Thanks so much and have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.